Jambo. I was saying Jambo. I was speaking, saying hello to anybody who's watching and listening. Today is 15th, 14th?
14th, Sunday.
Today is January, March the 14th, Sunday. Our day of rest. This is a day that we're not doing any routine labor. No jobs, no washing clothes. We do cook sometimes on Sundays here. Most of the time we have food. We eat leftovers on Sunday. But some days we cook on Sundays, cook our meal. Just enjoy ourselves. And there's my beautiful wife over there. Say hello.
Jumbo.
She's in the process of cooking jollof rice, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Some jollof rice. My pronunciations are not the best. Jollof rice. And if you guys heard me sipping, I drink tea quite a bit. I don't drink as much as my wife do, but I got some hibiscus tea here. Got my hibiscus tea with my honey. I usually put my lemon, got a little lemon mix I put in it, but I didn't put any this one right here. And the kids, we have the kids in there watching a movie. Can't think of the movie. Got them watching a movie and enjoying themselves. So, just want to put out some another video here. I just like I've got quite a bit as far as my walk with Christ that I like to speak about. I'd like to get out. And like I say, once again, they're not my testimonies because I can't breathe without God. I don't even exist without Christ. And so any kind of test that he allows me to go through and that he orders my steps to go through, he's with me the whole time. So it's for me to come out on the other end, I can't come out the other end through it, whatever I go through without him. So these are his testimonies, you know, it's his truths. It's all the glory goes to God. And I just want to speak a little bit about how I got off of I say smoking weed. I don't want to just say drugs in general because the only other drug I really did intentionally now was ecstasy pills. And I know they got different mixes in them. Some say they got heroin in it, some got this in it, some of them got different stuff, makes and models. And but I did that. That was like I did ecstasy probably like in 2001. I may have started doing it in 2001. Yeah, 2001 or 2000, beginning of 2002, because I got locked up in September 2002. And so I wasn't doing ecstasy for that long because it was, like I said, I had a whole different state of mind. My mindset was, once I got turned on to ecstasy, my mindset was I could take these and I could stay awake and I could hustle. I could stay awake, I could stay focused and just hustle and make that $1 million that year. So I believe it was the beginning of 2002. But anyway, my main drug was weed. And I drank alcohol just like to keep me mellowed out, to keep me going. But weed was my thing, you know. And I drank, smoking weed, I could drink alcohol like it was water. So I would say this was in it was 2004, 2005. I'm not sure the year here. But I was in federal prison And while I was in federal prison, I could hear God keep trying to speak to me, tell me something. Now, once again, when I say, I want to say this because I heard another pastor preach on it. And, I know people who don't really have that, who's maybe not that far in their understanding with God and their walk with God. Like I remember when I first got home from prison, my grandmother and my dad, I was telling them how God speaks to me, and God always was telling me different things, and they got a little mad at me, and I remember my grandmother saying to me, like, what does God sound like, or something, I can't remember. And same way with my dad, like he didn't understand how God was speaking to me, and but when I say it's inside, and what I mean by when I say inside, it's like I can hear him speak to me. It's not maybe like a physical voice, but it's like a most definitely slow down, speed up, go left, go right, don't do that, or I would do this for you. It's a conversation, but it's not like I'm talking to you guys. It's much more realer, like when the Holy Spirit first time it spoke to me, it was something that was so much more real than my existence. It was so much more. I couldn't explain to people how the Holy Spirit spoke to me, but it's more realer than me looking at a person or talking to a person. This was like, man, it's more realer. When you hear God speak to you, it's more realer than anything imaginable when he talks to us. So when he talks to you, you most definitely know he's speaking to you. But I believe there's other times, maybe they're tests, I'm not sure what they are, but there's more other times when it's like you have a little uncertainty. Maybe it's a test when you're a little uncertain, like, God, are you really saying to do this, or really saying to do that, or go this way, or don't do that? It's a little uncertainty sometimes, but when he has a definite agenda, a definite purpose, a definite direction, a definite step you're supposed to be taking, it's undeniable. It's undeniable. So I was hearing God speak to me, and I could feel it like urges, and maybe urges and tugs, like something I didn't know what it was. Now I'm gonna get intimate with you guys. When I used to masturbate and different things when I got to prison, not different things, nothing like that. But I masturbated. It was, it's like part of, like, even growing up, my pawpaw, different people way back, they had naked books, X-rated books. They used to have head. I used to find them. We look at them. Me and my cousins, we look at the little nasty books. And something as a Satan type of way, we think that's okay to have nasty books and look at that stuff and masturbate. You talk to, instead of raping a girl or doing other things, go to the bathroom and satisfy yourself. And I don't know if I can even be saying masturbate on this thing. I don't know if this is okay. I can say that. Okay, it's way you kind of brought up. And anyway, all the way in prison, I would masturbate in prison. I didn't mess with other dudes and that type of stuff like that. And I didn't have a prison guard lady that I was intimate with or nothing like that. So all the way up to 2004, I could feel God speaking to me. And I didn't really know, I knew it was, like even when I do that, I'd feel kind of a little drained after you do it. Not a relaxation, like a relaxation, but a kind of drain once you do that. And this is all tied in together about me hearing God call me. And so I was in my cell one day, and so I had my Bible was spread out on my locker, and so I went to my Bible, and I just started reading my Bible. A lot of times I let God kind of lead me. I can go to a certain passage and start to read it, But if I feel like it's not intended for me, then I flip the page and go a little farther. See where he kind of takes me somewhere different to what's and this all goes back to prayers that I've asked God for. This is all goes back to prayers that I've asked God for. You know, certain things I've asked God to speak to me continuously, daily, to guide me, to lead me. I want to hear his voice upon the many waters, whatever water it is, whichever way it is. I just told you, don't come over here, Baba. Don't come over here right now. Just relax. In any type of way that God could speak to me, this is the way I would ask him to speak to me. So in my faith, I was asking God to, my kids, they always take, when I hear my kids, I stay monitoring my kids. So every time I hear their voice, I get a little distracted. That's why I was telling my son, don't come over here. Because, I always kind of not worried about it, but, you always want to help your kids out in any moment, whatever they got. So, but I get distracted when I hear them talk, making sure they're okay. Just a little signal pops up. But go back here to, anyway, when I could hear God speaking to me. Let's go back to that. So I went to my Bible and I let him lead me to where he was trying to speak to me. With the message the message that he was delivering to me. So in the conversation, I guess maybe it was an impression or definite understanding. It was about the marijuana that day. And I believe during that conversation, I could understand God telling me to talk to him about it. And it's just like even a conversation I had this morning. I'll speak on that a little later. But God wants us to be honest and truthful with him. When we're honest and truthful with him, as best we can, he opens up the door to truth and honesty more for us. So when we do all we can on being honest and truthful on how we feel, what's hurting us, what makes us feel good, what we're looking forward to, what we're not looking forward to. When we take those steps towards that door, when we get to that door with all we have and giving it all what we have to him, he opens the door the rest of the way and lets us in. So when he lets us in, now we're seeing it's a deeper truth. So now I'm sitting there and I'm speaking to God like why I should be allowed to smoke marijuana. Why I should be allowed, even though he's changing my life and he's shaping me and molding me. He's breaking me down, breaking me down of all what doesn't belong inside of me, who I'm not meant to be. He's breaking me down with a lot of pains and a lot of truthfulness. He's breaking me down, and he's also building me back up on trusting in him. I'm relying on him. What I'm saying? Speaking with him, being honest with him, just being that type of person, that type of individual. So as I'm trying to convince God now on why I should be allowed to smoke weed, and this conversation was probably like 45 minutes. I'm actually just talking to God about everything from A to Z about smoking weed. Now, for those of you who don't really know me and who didn't really grow up with me, I smoked weed. Not probably. I moved to Lawton, and when I was the summer of the 5th grade, we moved to Lawton. So that was like 85 or 84. We moved to Lawton. So I started my first year in Lawton. I went to 6th grade at Crosby Park. So that summer before that, I was here in Wichita Falls. So even before then, not way back, but a couple of years before that, most definitely. Excuse me. I smoked my very first joint. My mom had a blue Jerry box. I don't know if back in them days in the 70s, I know everybody in early 80s, parents had the little triangle, square box, little jewelry boxes that you could open and close with the little velvet soft cushion with the separate chambers inside. My mama had one of those, and she had a joint in there. So during some point in time, that joint, we used to always, as little kids, you in every nook and cranny in your house where you ain't supposed to be. So somehow that joint popped up in there, and we recognized the signals came on that joint was in there. So we realized that joint was in there. And in doing so, we realized that during some point, I don't know if it was a day or two, a week or two, it couldn't have been longer than a month or two, because kids, we don't last that long. But a day or two or a week or two, that joint stayed in there. So as a little kid, you get a signal that, hey, man, either they done forgot about that joint or they don't care about that joint. We can get that joint. So me and my sister, we got a hold of that joint one day and lit it up. We lit it up because I had another partner. I don't know, I might not need to say his name on here. But everybody who lived on William Street with me, growing up here in Wichita Falls on the William Street on the east side, we had a little partner there who had asthma bad, and I believe he smoked, and I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying all this stuff out, but he might have smoked marijuana for his asthma to help him. Now it's legal nowadays. I believe people do that. But back then, I don't think he was supposed to be doing it. But, we knew, black people knew that maybe that could help you and stuff. Anyway, so we had people that smoked marijuana all throughout, through our neighborhood like that, younger people. But anyway, we got a hold of that joint and we smoked that joint. That was my very first joint. Very first joint. So I had to be in, I moved 5th grade. I had to be in like 3rd to 4th grade, give or take, 3rd or 4th grade, somewhere around that area. And my sister was a couple years older than me. And she's passed away. We're not going to talk about her right now. But I'm not knocking my sister. You know what I mean? It's like what we did. We was little kids having fun, to say. But imitating people. So anyway, we smoked that joint. That was my very first joint as a child. And and before I moved to Lawton, I had smoked a few more times. You know what I'm saying? But I wasn't like every day smoking weed every day. That wasn't me. I didn't have that opportunity. It wasn't even really my desire. I don't believe it wasn't my desire. I know it wasn't. It wasn't my desire, but it was always when we got one to have fun with it and stuff like that when we could. So I smoked a few times before 6th grade. So then after, when I moved to Lawton, I got into a lot of different environment. My environment really changed. I went from making C's and D's and F's to making straight A's. I moved from the east side here in Wichita, and I moved to Crosby Park, which was like a whole different environment. Because in the east side, like we had like maybe 1 or 2 white people on the whole east. It wasn't a lot of white people on the east side in the early 80s and 70s, guys, when I was a little kid. And I remember we had couple of guys, they was real poor, they was poorer than most of the people on the east side. They was real, they didn't wear too many times, have a shirt on and snot and shoes and stuff, but God willing. I don't know what happened to him, but anyway, I ended up moving to Crosby Park when my mom married my stepfather. And when she married my stepfather, we ended up, we moved to, it was like like Will Smith, you know what I'm saying, moving to Bel Air, So to me it was, anyway, to me it was, but anyway, so I was kind of like in a different environment. I went quiet, you know what I'm saying? I didn't really, because you left all your friends, you left where you grew up, you moved to a whole different environment over here. Like here in Wichita, it was like, my issues was like worrying about getting jumped in when I got to junior high. It's like a major issue. I remember people really getting beat down, beat up, getting jumped in, Everybody tell you can't, when you get up there, boy, we're going to get you, boy, we're going to get you. It's like initiation, let you know, yeah, you part of part of this hood, this side. You from the east side. You just get jumped in when you get up here and stuff. In different situations, you know, we had the William Street Warriors, you know, a little group we did. We played like organized football games and different stuff. I mean, we had like even a little organized fight, you know, a few times with the projects and just different little stuff. You know, it really wasn't little kid. You call it fun stuff, but it's, you know, it's really not good when you look at it, honestly, growing up, knowing. But so anyway, I didn't smoke that much when I first moved along. Every once in a while, probably all the way maybe the ninth grade, like maybe 8th and 9th grade. Then I start getting, you know, you get a little more different people have it, you know, when you're passing by them, to say. So as a little more people had it passing by, then it's every once in a while I could get more and more little totes, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't buying bags and all that yet, you know what I'm saying? But I'd get a little more totes and this and that, whatnot, what have you. So as the years going by, you know, just smoking more and more and more to, you know, it was just what I thought I enjoyed, you know what I'm saying? So it became a part of me, you know what I'm saying? So when I got to, it got to a point, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I would wake up at night, roll over, light up a joint or light up a blunt, hit it a few times, then roll back over to go back to sleep. You know, so it got to that point in life, you know, where that's what it was so what my desire was, you know, what one of my desires was. And so I'm up, and this is the conversation, you know, I'm having with God that day. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking like from A to Z, you know, how long I've been smoking weed, you know, and how it made me feel. It stopped me, like even when prison, like, you know, we wouldn't want to, like some of the homeboys to say, we wouldn't really, we smoked some weed, we wouldn't sit back and really, we'd be more relaxed, you know what I'm saying? We might let there's a lot of things we wouldn't, we kind of ignore, we let them slide, to say. We wouldn't, you know, we felt like it made us more laid back. Maybe it makes you lazy, what I'm believing, the truth of it all. But, you know, when we smoke weed, we didn't go out, we weren't going out looking to go bang or nothing like that. It was like more laid back, you know, and so I'm describing all that to God. I got to the point where I was describing to God, like, you put weed here, God, it's on the earth, it's growing like grass, you know, it ain't man-made, you know what I'm saying? It's like something that you've created, you know, why wouldn't it be okay to smoke it, you know? I went from A to Z and being honest, and like I say, I started out as much as I could on being honest about weed, and then as I did all I could, God he opened the door for me more to see the truth about it all and explaining it to him. So by the end of that conversation, and it was like 35 to 45 minutes, and I do remember that. At the end of that conversation, my prayer was to God was, I've tried to quit, and probably like I say from high school